Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy V, the 4-John Fiesta. In the last episode we learned about Exdeath's plan to basically steal the power of the Void, which was sealed between the two worlds. Now that the two worlds have merged, the Void is accessible. It opened up right above Tycoon Castle, and Exdeath wants to claim that power and basically, rule the world, I guess. We were told though that it's just the worlds merged, the sealed book that was in one half in Surgate Castle in Gallus World and one half in Ancient Iron World was now complete. So we have a plan of attack now. So basically what Guido the sage said is we need to go to 4 different dungeons and find the stone tablet in each of those dungeons, and when we get those stone tablets we can take them back to Surgate Castle where the 12 legendary weapons are sealed, and we can unlock those weapons, and those weapons will help us defeat Exdeath. So we only really have to defeat one of the dungeons, because that one dungeon will give us access to the airship, and the airship you can use once you get it to fly into the collective dimensions there where the Void is. But we're going to do 100% and get all the stuff, so we'll be doing all of the dungeons. So, but we're not going to start the dungeon right now, even though we were told that the first dungeon is to the west in the desert. So there's a pyramid in the desert that apparently has the first of the stone tablets. But we're not going to go to that dungeon because that dungeon is evil and it's terrible. And if you watched Princess Sarissa's old playthroughs, her Final Fantasy V 4-John Fiesta, you would know that she does not like those dungeons. So instead we're going to take this time to talk to people here in Surgate Castle, and we're going to talk with the people in the library. We gotta come this way because there's a treasure. We gotta do this mini quest, or this little thingy here to reshelve the books. There was a treasure crate that we couldn't access earlier because there was an old man in the way. Unfortunately, there's no treasure in there because it's one of those chests that is picked up by Lone Wolf. So what we're gonna have to do is, but we still have to get that to get the 100% treasure completion. So let's just get rid of all these books here. Get that card then from Lone Wolf. It would just be a cabin. So it's not like we missed a Mage or treasure. Put these books back. The books are unorganized. So there we go. Oh, so close. There we go. Stew. Let's talk to the lady again, then she'll open the way forward. And like I said, we'll go to that one room. I'll show you. It's in the one crate. And then we'll leave here. Now, if we want, we can go north of Surgate Castle, and we can get all the way up to Karnak. But we're not going to go there, because we don't want to get into a whole bunch of random encounters. The random encounters around the overworld in this area are all the same for this section of the area. So we can run around all around here in around Surgate Castle. So there's no need to do all that walking and get up to Karnak. When we get the airship, we can fly there because, the airship, you don't get encounters in the airship. So, it's much better to do the hold off, go in that town until we have the airship access. So, and of course, we'll get the airship access after we do the Great Pyramid, but we're holding off on that. So, one of the reasons why we're holding off is we're going to get a really good item, a really good weapon, specifically, that'll definitely help us out, make us stronger. Actually, the town of Mu is to the west of the castle, to the west of the ancient library in the castle here. And remember, when we were in Gallus World, there was that one shed that was locked. Well, now the shed will be unlocked here in the merged worlds. Maybe as they merged, the lock fell off or something. We can get the choice of 2 decent weapons. We'll of course be going for the chicken knife, but we'll get that a little bit later. So then yeah, here's the map. We open it up, see here's the whole big world now. Everything's combined. So we want to head to the north here on the plains. We can run into 5 different types of enemies. We got the pythons, which is the snake. The shadow is that bear that I always say it looks like he's tearing a hole in space and crawling out of it. So, Python, weak to ice. Shadow doesn't have any weaknesses, but doesn't have a lot of hit points, so should fall pretty easily. The Elven's Gigas has a lot of hit points, and it can really hurt your party because it can cast the Arrow 3 spell. If you haven't learned that with your Blue Mage, easy place to learn it here. The one good thing though is the Elven Gigas, he's really slow, so it takes a long time for him to actually like take any turns. He still hasn't even acted yet in this battle, so. But when he acts, yeah, he hurts. So. The only thing you can just hope for is that Aegis Shield would kick in and sometimes block that attack, but oh well, we'll just have to heal up afterwards. And one of the enemies we can only meet in the forest, so we're going to be wandering around the forest up there for a little bit to farm some enemies. This thing is going to be really good in the next dungeon, the pyramid, because you know pyramids were used ancient Egypt to put mummies in, and mummies of course are going to be undead monsters. So that Requiem song that we learned is going to be really good. We're also going to learn our 6th song in a little bit. We could have learned it as soon as we went to the ancient library, but I didn't want to. I wanted to just save my game real quick and not talk to all the people there. But yeah, in the top, on the outside of the ancient library, there's one of the scholars will teach you a song. So there's the other 2 enemies we can meet in the plains. We've got the sleepy guy there who actually will cast sleep on you. And then we have the hedgehog there. Stats just popped up. He can counter with the needle. So luckily we put him to sleep there. So the needle can mute you, your character, in addition to dealing damage. And if you're muted, you can't use magic or magical type abilities like your singing command. So you won't be able to sing unless you're muted. So that's a pretty neat if they thought of that. So usually most other Final Fantasy just blocks off your ability to cast magic. They thought, hey, you also got to sing, that ability, so it blocks that one off too. So, alright, let's go start wandering in the forest here to try to find that other monster that we can encounter just in the forests. Keep walking around. Reminds me of my we had our old beagle growing up, Buddy Beagle. We like to walk him in the woods. You get all excited. He was a beagle, and beagles are hunting dogs. And he didn't take him hunting, of course, but my dad didn't take him hunting. My daddy doesn't hunt, except for the grocery store and the pet store. But everybody likes to go walking in the woods and smell all the animals. Luckily, he didn't encounter any of these tree men, which are like treants. Like you would think, they are weak to fire. We have fire and ice weak enemies here, so Treeman can kind of berserk you. All these enemies could be berserked, not berserked, but charmed with the sing command. But I didn't feel the need to do that. But yeah, they are all pretty much susceptible to the Bard sing command, so if you want, you can just sing them to charm them. But the tree men, unlike some of the other trees, they would end up casting berserk. And that could actually hurt your characters, because if you want to, it would just make your character just straight up attack. I guess that could hurt if it's, say, it targets somebody like Angels, who you would want to maybe heal a character between battles. So, now one of the good things is, back in the Ancient Library, remember back when we first went to the Ancient Library, we had, there was that healing pot. Well, now we can use that healing pot is still there, so we can use it to heal up after here, which is going to be really good, because I mentioned earlier that we're going to pick up that chicken knife from Mu, and the chicken knife gets stronger the more battles you run from. Every 2 battles it gives it +1 attack. So you got to run from 255 battles to max out its attack. So it's really good to be able to run around in a place where you can get free healing, basically. So probably one of the best places to do all that running around is right at the beginning of the game. in the Pirate's Cave, because you have that spring there, and the enemies are really low level, so they're easy to run from. But in order to do that, we'd have to wait until we got the airship again, and we're just gonna run from enemies around here. So I'll do all that running off screen, but I'll show you like how the chicken knife is weak, and then when I do the running off screen, then you know, I'll come back and I'll show you that after some time. So the scholars not too happy. They're like, even if we defeat F-Steph, you know, hey, there's you know, what are we gonna do without the crystals? X is true from his tree, so that must be why he turned himself into a splinter. The places where the tablets have been sealed are always guarded by gargoyles. Yeah, it's a pair of gargoyles in each of the dungeons. When the walls become one, so did the sealed book. Dr. Mid and Sid are off the Crescent Island and they haven't come back yet. It says there was a town shut up in the collective dimension where they sell fantastic magic weapons and armor from 1,000 years ago. If the collective dimensions reappear, that town should have as well. And Guido just reads back with a book, basically saying where each of the dungeons are, and then what other rewards we're going to get, you know, if we defeat those dungeons. So the ultimate white magic, holy, the ultimate black magic, flare, the ultimate dimension magic, or time magic, is Meteo, and then you can get the two most powerful summons, the Bahamut and Leviathan. Surgate Castle Cruiser should be to the east of Tool Village. Split the crystal in two, and the world becomes two. It would have been impossible to seal the void without doing that. So, on this globe, we're here at the ancient library, so if you lay the two worlds on top of each other, interesting. Let's heal ourselves up, because we have some more enemies to farm, and we also have some new enemies to encounter. So, we got, in the forest over by Moo, there's some new enemies, and we're also going to run into some new enemies around in the desert. We got this little small area here. We're going to get a little small cutscene here. We kind of... Master Tree, the force of Mew is beginning to restore itself. Grandpa won't be coming back. Lena, Dad. Lena just got pulled into the collective dimension by the hole that appeared. Many lives have disappeared. We must stop X-Death, the people of the world, not just for them, but for all life. I can't take it anymore. I can't stay and see any more lives lost. Let's go. We'll protect them. Yeah, even though things look hopeless here, I guess we're supposed to get a message of hope here and seeing that, hey, the forest is regrowing. You know, it was burnt in the last world. But this isn't a good sign. The quicksand. The quicksand stopped. Since the Earth Crystal shattered, the power of the Earth has totally disappeared. The Earth is weakened. So there's our pyramid. We'll go there, but not this episode. We want to head over to the town here to get that chicken knife. And we run into a good battle here because we have all three of the new enemies that can be around here. So these are also the same enemies around Crescent Lake, so we won't have to go looking for them there. So the slug is the one in the lower right corner. The Gloom Widow is the spider that I had the cursor on, and then the Makar is the witch lady on the moon. So, use the charm spell here. We'll just take these guys out, and then we'll put the stats on for the other two monsters. There we go, Gloom Widow there on the top, and Mikhail on the left. Mikhail can drop a luminous robe, which is a pretty good piece of armor for mages. That's the one we have angels wearing right now. I forgot to put the one thing on Angels though, the gold hairpin. And that's the one that it's not the greatest piece of headgear in terms of defense for your characters, but it is the best because it cuts MP use in half. So it basically doubles your magic points, which is really, really good. So yeah, remember what that person said back at the beginner's house, that when you use the when you auto-equip from changing jobs, it automatically puts the stuff that has the best defense. It doesn't take into account, like, special abilities. Someone unlocked a small shack. They said there's a ghost in there. Oh, scary. Ecstasy return. The nightmare of 30 years will happen again. Not if we can help it. And the Great Forest of Mu is gone. Oh, Mao. talked to him already. Greed may result in evil. Let's go talk with the folks in the pub. The great forest of Mao has become a desert. So the forest where we grow from where the master tree is, that's good. I've been into the desert. There was a weird building. What in the world was that? It's our first elemental dungeon. Something happened to the world. Something must have. So Guido was right. That's good. Going into the Oath Dungeon first. But we're not going backwards, so it won't be going like, if we went backwards, we'd go like Earth, Fire, and then Water and Wind. Wind is actually the second. So you actually have to do the first and the second in order. Because to get to the third and the fourth, you need a submarine, and that doesn't get unlocked until you beat the second dungeon. So, hey, you found me. You were able to get here by yourself. That just means you are brave, or maybe you're just a show-off. Well, that is something you must decide for yourself. If you believe you have courage, open the chest on the left. And that's the Brave Blade. It's pretty powerful, but it loses attack once you run away. And because it's a sword, it can only be wielded by less classes than the dagger, which most classes can use. And the dagger has the ability to function both your strength and agility into its damage calculation. So right now the chicken knife is really, really weak. Attack power of 6. We can get up to 127. So we'll do that by doing a whole bunch of running away. Like I said, I'll do that off screen because you don't want to see you have to run 255 battles. That'd be really boring. But we have a good place to do it back in the back around the ancient library. Alright, so now let's just head into the desert. We'll finish off this episode by getting some random encounters. There's 2 new enemies we can run into here in the desert. And we also can see what the chicken knife does. It has a unique property to it. One of the things the chicken knife does is if you just straight attack with it, it can cause your character to flee from battle. Now there's certain commands that will prevent that from happening. So that basically make you attack but don't use the fight command. So I think like that sword slap that the samurais learn, I think that can be used to negate the chicken knife running away. So for some new enemies, I probably won't have Faris doing a lot of fighting, just so I can see their stats, so I can point out their stats as they go along. So, but here's the 2 new enemies. We always saw the desert pedes. Now we got the Barrette. Has really high defense, but as you see, it doesn't have a lot of hit points. Only 1,000, and it's weak to ice. So angels can take it out pretty easily with the Ice 2 spell, and or Cara can even do it with the double gripped Ice Sword. So it doesn't even have to do damage to it. That's one of the good things. You don't necessarily have to have damage happen to have a special ability of a weapon take effect. So yeah, even though angels did 0 damage to the Barrette, it still made the sleep sword still put it to sleep. So yeah, those things they don't act, they're slow, but they hit like a truck. So it's good if we put them to sleep like that. So. And come back next time where we go into the pyramid. Take care, have a good one. Bye.